And we are live. Hey everybody, it's Puka. How's the corona? The corona. My office building shut down, so because of the corona. So I'm going to try and get a vlog out here every day the rest of the week, I hope, if time persists. But today I want to talk a little bit of corona and a little bit of iRacing, which I think is really going to blow up during this corona. You know, you can go to iracing.com, and there's actually a little button on the side there to watch live. And this is something that's, it's kind of incredible what's going on with this iRacing. I flipped it on here before dinner, and there was a race at Watkins Glen. Had the grass, like brown and green, not just like solid green, motorhomes in the background, the fans, sponsorships, the sponsorship banners, sponsorship on the cars. I mean, complete with a pace car, and going back and showing like the road course cautions, the caution over there, caution over there. It was really, really something cool. I don't know a ton about it, but I just kind of want to get it out there for you race fans. You can check it out. I don't know how the races are really, how they're organized. I'm sure, like, I don't have a username or login, but I'm sure you can. Well, actually, I guess I know from some of the research I did that, yeah, you can start a race. So, and I don't know how they get people, like, so these were not, the Watkins race I watched was not NASCAR. It was like, some sort of like road course cars. And it was just, like I said, it's just something that's interesting. It's kind of blowing up. And if you listened to the pod last week, oh, by the way, for those of you that are race fans, the One to Go Show podcast, catch it at all your podcast places. By the way, speaking of the coronavirus, our numbers we're off the wall, blowing up. And I appreciate it. I know some of you on here have shared the podcast, so I appreciate you doing all the sharing. My parents are actually on their way home from their winter home, coming back to Minnesota, and they're getting a little spooked out with this corona too, so they just want to get home, and they actually listened. I couldn't believe it. They said they listened to a couple episodes while they were driving last night through Nebraska and Iowa, so we're doing really well with that. But if you listened last week, we talked about, let me look at my notes here. This is from my podcast notes. So Atlanta, the NASCAR pulled up out of Atlanta. They've delayed races now until May 3rd. I think Dover's the next race. So somebody with NASCAR, well, I think it was a crew member, he started a race on iRacing. So that's how you could do it. Like I said, once you're logged in, you can do this. But it was called the Replacements 100. So there were crew members, crew chiefs, NASCAR drivers, even Dale Earnhardt Jr. raced in this race. It was set up in Atlanta. And 21,000 people watched this iRacing event. And so that's what I had heard that. So that's why I was monkeying around, like I said earlier today. I just kind of wanted to see what they were watching. And it's computerized. And, my co-host Ryan Aho said, if you're 5 beers deep, you probably don't even know that it's computerized. You probably think it's a real thing. But if you're watching close, you can kind of tell that it is. And now on NASCAR, yesterday just announced that they're going to be doing, it's going to be called the eNASCAR Iracing Pro Invitational Series. It's going to be an amateur series that begins this Sunday at the virtual Homestead Speedway. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is again on the docket. Kyle Busch, Denny Hamlin, Clint Boyer, Kyle Larson, and Christopher Bell. So they get some big names. And these are all going to be exhibition races that they're doing. But there is a current, so as I'm doing some of the research, there's a current eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series racing for a purse of $300,000. $300,000 on the line. I couldn't believe this. So the reason I wanted to kind of do the vlog is, should promoters be worried, and how worried should they be? This is such an easy game to get into for, especially a millennial who's obviously so familiar with technology, for a fraction of the cost. So you can kind of get your racing fix right from your own home. It's way less work. You're not out in the 80 degrees under a car, popping a tent up, doing all that, because if you don't need to get a toter home, it's really, really super easy. And of course, promoters need to be worried about number of racers. Promoters need to also be worried about the number of fans. How many fans are just going to stay home now and say, what the heck, I can just watch racing right from the comfort of my own home. I have air conditioning. I don't have to wait in line to get a beer. The beer's cold right in my own fridge. That kind of thing. So it's really going to be interesting to see how this all works. We've got a whole, and we're seeing it with the coronavirus, a whole ecosystem of just stay-at-home economy stuff, like Domino's Pizza, stay at home, or Grubhub, or Uber Eats. Everything gets delivered to your house. Obviously, Amazon Prime. And then you can get those dash buttons. For those of you that know what a dash button is, like the size of a lighter. You pre-program it with your wireless, like you could get a dash button for like Tide. So whenever you need Tide, you push the button. It already has a predetermined quantity. The quantity is, shipped automatically in 2 days. You have it. So we have this whole, super easy stay-at-home economy, like Blue Apron, the food delivery service. So now it's entertainment is good. Well, of course, there has been entertainment like Netflix, but now this racing is just getting so easy to do from home. So it'll be interesting to see how this evolves over the next 5 years. And of course, the purse, like I said, a $300,000 purse. I mean, my home track, we'll call it to Hibbing Race. I mean, how many years does it take to pay out a total of $300,000? Or maybe it is a whole year. I don't know, but I suppose their weekly purse might be 15 grand. You have 10 shows. Yeah, you're not getting to 300,000 even with the Labor Day shootout. So, the purse is immense. And of course, the person that's doing is actually making money because their expense side compared to a regular racer is so low. Now, one thing I was also paying attention to was, this is all video based, obviously. So, and there's a lot of discussion with promoters as far as how far video should go. How much videoing should they be doing, getting out there? How much videoing are they going to allow on such like a Facebook Live or Twitter that fans are doing? So I guess promoters, what I would do if I was you, I mean, you can't stop this. I mean, this is the way of the future. So what you need to do is you need to film, but you need to come up with unique events like this. When you're getting NASCAR guys doing this iRacing, that's a unique event. 21,000 fans. That's incredible. That's like going to a Wild game. I mean, this is nuts. It's more. I mean, the Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament was just, 2 weekends ago? I think they were at 18 and a half, 19, somewhere in there. More people watch this race than attended that, and that's a packed house. So promoters, you need to be thinking along these lines. If you have a unique event, a good event, you can film it, play it live or play it back later, and you could probably make some dough on it. It's got a unique event. It can't just be your Joe Blow weekly show and heats and semi-features and 10-lap heat. And, you got to come up with something unique. You got to stand out a little bit. So I think there's actually an opportunity there too. So now the reason I kept looking over here is my daughter just left me a note. That iRacing race, the Replacements 100, you can actually find on YouTube. So for those of you who want to get just kind of a little taste of what this iRacing is all about, go to YouTube and check out that Replacements 100. And like I said, it's a phenomenon that's going to be happening. I think it's going to grow during this whole coronavirus deal. And like I said, I'm thankful that our podcast is actually growing during this coronavirus deal too. So anything stay at home is going to be growing. And of course, restaurants and all these things are in trouble. Bars, even athletic clubs, no one can go. But there are going to be some winners. So like I said, I'm off for a little bit as far as out of my office. I got to work from home. So I'm going to try to do some vlogs here over the next few days. Try is the key word. So hopefully we'll see you this week on the next vlog. Take care.